Hey guys, welcome to Cookie and Counter. Remember I did say I am doing a 13-part series of business management or how to start a business. So this is lesson number 1. Lesson number 1 is going to be dealing with the readiness to start your business. So with this, lesson number 1 is basically just assessing how ready we are to start our business. Remember, we are doing this in a point of view of a home-based baker who is in Kagiso, in the hood, Elokshini, Ekasi, Emakasana, and the point of view of a South African. Ne? We are doing it local stuff. So to help yourself decide whether or not you are ready to start a business, you need to do a lot of self-assessment. You need to be self-aware. You need to deal with the inner person. And then we are going to be answering a few questions about personal characteristics, number 1. And number 2, we're going to be answering questions on skills. So there will be 9 questions on personal characteristics and situation, and then there's going to be 6 questions on skills. So I think at this point you can take a book and a paper and actually write down, because these things are going to be very beneficial for your business, because we are doing this for the long haul, right? So yeah, let's get into it without wasting any time, because I do not want these videos to be too long, because when something is too long, then you end up losing interest and you end up forgetting what the person said in the beginning. So let's get right into it. So the first set of questions is 9 questions that will be based on characteristics and your situation. Question number 1, commitment. Are you willing to put your business before anything else? Do you want to be in business for a long time? And can you spend most of your time and effort on business? This is a very deep question, because if you sit down and ask yourself, am I really doing this for the long haul? Do I want to be in business for a long time? As I am starting Cookie and Counter, is Cookie and Counter gonna be here in the next 10 years? Do I want it to be here in the next 10 years? So these questions are yes or no questions that you must answer yourself. Are you willing to spend the time, to invest the time and the effort in making sure that Cookie and Counter becomes a lucrative business? Number 2 is motivation. Are you self-motivated? Do you believe you can do this? Do you believe you can do this? Why do you want to have a business? So obviously I'm going to be using Cookie and Counter because it's my business, but you ask yourself there where you are sitting. Where I am saying Cookie and Counter, you can just insert the name of your existing business or the name of your business that you still want to start. Are you motivated? Do you want to do this? Why do you want to have a business? Do you just want to have a business because you saw Cake Boss is making millions, then now you're also thinking you want to make millions? What is your motivation? What is driving you to say, actually, I also want to start a baking business and I want it to be lucrative? What is pushing you? What is motivating you? Question number 3. Taking risks. Business in itself is a risk. Are you willing to risk money and, most of all, relationships? In business itself is a risk. Starting a business, it is a risk, because you do not know whether it's going to succeed or not. So you need to ask yourself, am I willing to risk it all? Because you're going to be investing money. Are you willing to lose that money? Are you willing to lose that relationship? Because believe you me, I know this now because my business is already up and running. Starting a business will strain your relationships, be it romantic relationship, family relationship, or whatever, because number one, you won't have as much time to do the things that you used to do before. Because why? Every time you're baking. We are doing this the entrepreneurship route, so 90% of the time, like we don't have money to be hiring staff when we are still starting, so relationships are gonna be shaken because number one, if you are baking from home like me, you're gonna be invading the privacy of the people that you stay with. Ne? Number two, sometimes somebody will be wanting to make food in the kitchen, and when now you are hogging the whole kitchen, like, no guys, please move. Are you willing to go through all of that? So those are some of the things that you should ask yourself before you start your business. Making decisions. Are you serious? Are you able to make serious decisions? Can you handle making serious decisions? Can you trust yourself? So for example, say maybe now there is a customer that wants to ask for something that you do not do. I don't know what kind of scenario to give, but like, are you able to take decisions that require you to be strong and firm and say, listen, this we are not doing. Come hell or high waters, this we are not doing. Or wena urihlanga ro yima matini, loko mati ma famba ma ya hala na wena u ya hala. Are you strong? Do you have a backbone? That is the decision making part of it. And then question number 5, do you have the ability to handle stress? Entrepreneurship is so hard. It is so hard and stressful. Will you be able to handle the stress that comes with it? Because entrepreneurship or being a baker, you are gonna be required to work extra long hours, extra long than you think. If that is making sense. If you think I mean 10 hours, make that 20 hours. Are you willing to sacrifice your sleep? Are you willing to sacrifice, those are some of the stressful situations that I'm talking about. Are you willing to, deal with the issue of customers, And then question number 6, problem solving. Do you have problem solving skills? How good are your problem solving skills? Say, take for an example, you are dealing with a customer and the customer said they want a cake, or they ordered something from you and maybe there was a mistake that you did or the customer did. Will you be able to handle that situation in a sense yokuthi both you and the customer are gonna be satisfied with how you handled that? Or are you that type yokuthi mina ngiphuma sibethane angincenyi muntu? So what type of a person are you? And then question number 7, goal orientation. The difference between an employee and an entrepreneur is the ability to be able to set goals and actually achieve them, or develop goals and achieve them. So with employees, you are told to do something and you do it and kuphelela lapho. But an entrepreneur or an employer is somebody who will have this idea, put it into action, like make it come alive, make it a goal, and actually channel it until you see it to the finish line. So are you able to do that? Do you have goals? Where do you see Cookie and Counter in the next 10 years? Okay, Cookie and Counter is now up and running as a home bakery. Do you plan on expanding? Do you know? So things like that. What are your goal orientations when it comes to your business? And then number 8 is social support. Do you have the support of your family and your friends? This is so true, because as I did say, when you are doing this, you will soon realize that you start to irritate your family, because it's all good when it starts, it's all good and nice. You're baking, oh my gosh, you're making nice cakes, but there are gonna be times when you want to make cakes at a very unconventional time and people are just not having it. So your support structure, your is it there? Do you have a support structure to be able to push you when, for example, you are the one who is not up to par into making those orders? You're the one who's actually feeling like, oh my gosh, I want to give up. Do you have a support structure? Do you have family and friends that will say, you know what, keep pushing, Daka Dad, keep pushing, you cannot give up? Do you have that? And if you don't have that, you realize, if you're looking around right now and you realize that I don't have that, if you want to do this, you will go out and look for that and find it. Because why? You are goal orientated. And then number 9 is your financial situation. Do you have money? Do you have money saved up to support this baby that you are birthing? Because believe you me when I tell you that a baking business is like a baby, it's like raising a baby. Do you have money that you have put aside to say, listen, this is the money that I will keep feeding into the business even when I don't see the returns? Do you have somebody who will borrow you money when you have run out of funds? Do you have a can you get a loan at the bank? Like, basically, capital. Do you have that? Ne? So all of those questions, you must answer them yes or no. And then when you're answering these questions, the ones that you're answering no to are the ones that you need to focus on. All the answers that you say no, you need to go back and see, how am I going to fix this? Because this is obviously a problem area. How am I going to fix this? How am I going to make sure that this question, I can say it and mark it as a yes? So how do I make it my strength? Because right now it is my weakness. I don't know if I'm making sense. But now we are going to be moving to the skills. So skills, number 1, technical skills. Do you have what it takes to start a baking business? Do you know how to bake? Let's just start there. Do you know how to bake, Margaret? Or you are just DJ, I want to bake. Do you have what it takes? Do you know how to bake? If you don't, I normally advise people not to go the self-taught route, because listen, you will start a YouTube channel and be like Quickie Encounter now, trying to figure out things on your own, and honestly it gets kind of tiring at times. But if you are doing it with people who have already done this, people who are giving you a template to say, listen, this is how we bake a cake, this is how we troubleshoot, this is how we see wrong from right, these are the mistakes to look out for, it becomes 10 times easier and the journey just becomes a smooth sailing. But if you want to do it the self-taught way, hey, I know, been there, done that, I'm still here. It's not easy. It is a bit difficult, but I'm not saying it's not doable. It just takes longer. So if you do not have the skills, go out, learn how to bake. If you want to teach yourself, teach yourself. If you want to go to baking school, go to baking school. You want to go to culinary school, go to culinary school. Do whatever it takes to make sure that you attain this goal of yours of starting a baking business. Number 2, business management skills. The whole reason why we are here today. Do you know how to do costing and pricing? Do you know how to market? Do you know how to record keep? Do you know how to motivate people? Because number 1, let's start with costing. You now own a business. Do you know how to cost your goods correctly? Because if you cannot cost and price your goods, you're gonna be working at a loss. Number two, if you do not know how to market your products, you are gonna always be having a problem. People are not buying from me. People are not, because you are not putting yourself out there. You are not doing the necessary things for people to be able to see that, listen, this person is here. You are not showing up in a way that calls people to come and buy from you. And record keeping, do you know how to do bookkeeping? Do you know how to do accounting? Nope. For number two, everything on number two for me is a no. I don't know how to do all of these things. Hence, I started this YouTube channel and this series because I want to. I am working towards having all of these skills, And then number three, knowledge in your line of business. The more you know, the better chances to avoid costly mistakes. So how much knowledge do you know about baking? How much do you know about baking? Do you know if I forget to add sugar on a cake, how can I fix that, for an example? Do you know the shortcuts of this thing that you want to go into? Do you know how to troubleshoot? Do you know? This is when our research comes in. And number four, negotiation skills. Do you have the ability to communicate without offending anyone? This is a difficult one. Do you know how to talk to people, and at the end of the conversation you're both satisfied? Like, both of you are at a point where you're like, you know what, I see what you're trying to say. Nobody is offended. Everybody just leaves and everybody is just honky-dory. Do you know how to do that? If you don't, then you need to work on it. Number five, your business and the environment. Do you know how to sustain natural capital or resources on which your business depends? Practical example of point number five. There was an egg crisis last year. Not necessarily egg, chicken crisis. The chickens had flu. And if chickens have flu, it means Cookie doesn't have eggs. And if Cookie doesn't have eggs, Cookie cannot make a cake, which means Cookie Encounter dies. So do I, as the owner, as the managing director of Cookie Encounter, do I have a plan of, say, if I cannot find eggs on the shelf, how do I make other means of sustaining this natural product that I'm using? Oil is another one. Oil was expensive, like, not so long ago. Milk is another one. The cows have flu also, So you need to know the things that affect your business, the natural resources that affect your business, and you need to know what's going on, who's who in the zoo. And then commitment to your community. Do you have a good relationship with the community that is surrounding you? Honestly speaking, I don't want to lie. I don't think I did have a good relationship with the community when I was first starting. Because you know what? There would be customers that would come over to come pick up their order and maybe find kids playing in the street, and they ask, do you know Cookie Encounter? Do you know also Orekisandi Google? And believe you me, every time it was always a no. The customers are calling me and they're like, I got lost. What? Why? Because the people around me didn't know that I'm selling. The people around me knew nothing. And that is because I never took the time to actually put myself out there and be like, listen, guys, this is what I do. Know that I do 1, 2, 3, And then you will answer yes or no to any of those 13 questions that I have asked, and do your self-introspection. So This is how to strengthen your entrepreneurial abilities. Now, these are just tips at the end. How do you strengthen your entrepreneurial abilities? So number one, you're going to be reading recipe books. Anything that you can get your hands on, whether it is from 1950, if it's a recipe book, you ought to have it, Mtase. And I'm not saying go out and buy books. I don't even own one recipe book. But these days, the internet is a flood of information, has a flood of information. So you can just always make sure that you are placing yourself in a position of gain. So Google those recipes, you know. So number two, attend trainings. I keep saying that I'm self-taught. It's not good and well, but baking classes will save you a great deal of your time. Attend training. If you're hearing somebody has a baking class, you want to start a business, or you already started your business. If you hear somebody is doing a, for example, I went and attended a meringue buttercream class. I only knew about American buttercream. I didn't know that there's Swiss meringue, there's Italian meringue, there's faux, what again? Faux Swiss meringue. I didn't know all of that. But as soon as I heard, I jumped on the train. I was like, I want to know this. And you know what that does? It elevates your business because you can't know everything. You cannot know everything. It's impossible, Margaret. It's impossible. You cannot do it. So I going out and actually attending these trainings will help you a great deal. Learn from the successful people who are in the same industry as you. There's a lot of seasoned bakers out there, and I like this age that we are on. You see on TikTok, there's a whole lot of bakers that you can learn from, be it South African bakers, be it them from Nigeria. There's just a lot of people that are sharing information on the internet. It's just waiting for you to find it. Seek help from others. Seek help from others. You will not lose anything from from asking. And if a person doesn't want to help you, then fine, move on, go to the other person. Everybody that you're going to be asking is going to be saying no, 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 no. Ask. Even the Bible says, ask, seek, and knock. Ask, and it shall be given unto you. So Google is going to be your best friend. Google is your best friend. I don't care if you are a beginner, you're intermediate, or advanced level. Google is your best friend. Because, as I say, you cannot know everything. It's not everything that you know. So Google is your best friend. There's always somebody who's doing something out there that you have no idea about. So keep researching about the things that you want to do. Keep researching. TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest. Choose your poison. Choose your poison. Choose your drug of choice. And go there. There is a flood of information on the internet. So to conclude this lesson, there's a lot of people who have made it in business who did not know much. Come on. There's a lot of people who made it in business who didn't have much knowledge about what they were doing. Okay, and doesn't mean that it's not doable. It is doable. Failing to plan is planning to fail. Always, always, always remember that. Self-awareness is the secret to making it. If you are not aware that you have a problem, how are you going to solve it? So this is the reason why I started going on this business management journey, because I noticed I have a problem. I have zero knowledge when it comes to business. And then I step up. I'm like, I'm going to go to trainings. I'm going to attend this. I'm going to attend this so that I can elevate my knowledge on business management. The success of your business depends on personal characteristics, situation, and skills. And then before you start, ask yourself if you are ready. Yeah, so watch out for lesson number 2, where we are gonna be talking about the business plan. I have been dreading doing a business plan since I started, because I don't know what goes in a business plan, and quite frankly, I don't want to lie, I was very lazy to do the research. But you know what, now I want to do it. Now I am here, I want to do it. I want to know what goes into a business plan, how do I do it, and all of that. So thank you so much, guys. If you found this video informational or very helpful, please do like and subscribe and turn on the notification bell, so that when I do post the next time, you are kept in the loop. Thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your week.